Hello everyone, come back to my classes. So, we'll see the next topic in software architectures and design patterns. We have studied the 3-4 topics in the previous classes, that is we have studied the definition of the design patterns and we have seen the features of the design patterns. We have studied we have come across the description of the design pattern, essential elements of the design patterns. So, we have studied the basics part of the design patterns. So, we'll move forward for the next topic. So, that is the next one is a catalog of design patterns. So, in this particular topic we are going to study only the introduction part to the design patterns, means only the definition level he has given, but actually what I have written here. So, these all design patterns are in detail in the third module. Okay, in the first module only he has given the definition parts. Okay, so I have right now I have written 10 design patterns. So, we have got 23 design patterns to be explained. So, I will explain one by one only the definition level. Why? Because it is in a brief or in a full in explanation in the third module. Each and every design pattern is in a full explanation and that covers in a third module. Okay, so just I am focusing on the definition level in this particular topic. So, very first design pattern is the abstract factory. So, abstract factory is a design pattern where it is going to provide the interface. Okay. So, in order to create the object and the classes, it is going to provide the interfaces. So, only the definition. So, means you can use this design pattern abstract factory for creating the interfaces that allows you to connect between the different classes. Okay, and otherwise you can even communicate with the different objects. So, that is what you are going to achieve if you use the that is a design factor, that is a abstract factory. And next comes the adapter design pattern. So, here it is going to have the conversion of the interfaces. So, if you have any problem related to the interface conversion, that is from the user or a developer to a client, some problem may arise while converting the interfaces. So, in such situations you can use this adapter design pattern which allows you to convert the interfaces to a client requested format. Okay. So, you may be designing in some ways that is ensured by the developer that may not be satisfied for the users. So, in order to achieve the user related request, you can use this adapter design pattern. And coming to the bridge design pattern, so here it is going to be used for the decoupling of the abstraction. So, abstraction means it is going to hide the details of the implementation, you know that concept. So, here we are going to use this bridge design pattern in order to decouple it, so that it is going to be represented in a different way, its implementation in different way and its abstract format in a different way. Two ways of representation it can provide. So, that is a bridge design pattern. And then coming to the build, so that is a builder design pattern. So, it is going to have the different separate construction of the object. So, means it is going to separate the class construction and the object construction in a different parts. So, that is being achieved by the builder. And next we will see the fifth one, chain of responsibility. These are all the names of the design patterns. Okay. So, chain of responsibility here. So, instead of means assigning tasks to each and every objects, receiving, sending, these kinds of interfacing things can be achieved using this chain of responsibility design pattern, where it provides the continuous change from one class to another class. So, receiver class and the receiving and the sending classes, these are all connected. This will be in a chain format. So, that chain format will be achieved using the chain of responsibility design pattern. Okay. So, next coming to the command design pattern, I have written here, it is going to encapsulate the request, means this design pattern it is going to completely cover the request which is given by the client side and it is going to provide you that one. So, means it is going to hide all the encapsulation is nothing but hiding the full details, right. So, here also the request part which contains some implementation details or anything like that. So, those things will be encapsulated, that will be covered. Okay. So, that will be done by the command design pattern. And then coming to the composite design pattern. So, here it contains the complete composing, means compose itself tells you. So, composing of all the objects. So means here it is going to provide the a tree structure. Okay, so for example, if you have created one object, so that will be in a top position, and next you are going to give some other object, so that will be in a left branch, right branch, and like that. So you have studied in a data structure trees, right? So it will be in a parent node, siblings, children, and so on. So the hierarchy will be maintained in such a way this composite design pattern is going to maintain. So it is going to provide the tree structure, so that is easy to access. So you can easily access, right? So you can come with a top node and left, right, traversing, and so on. So that helps you like that. And then coming to the decorator design pattern. So this decorator design pattern, what it is going to do? So it allows you to add the extra facilities. For example, when you are designing the web pages or any forms, online forms, in order to get the details, in order to submit some portal or something like that. So you are going to design it, right? Maybe the attraction part, right? So some drag and drop options, some to make it attractive. Okay, so for that purpose you can use the decorator design pattern. So that's why I have given attach additional features. So you can give the additional features in this particular decorator design pattern. And then coming to the facade. So facade means it is going to be the unified interface. Means you will be having so many classes, so many objects, each and everyone will be in creation of the interfaces, right? So you will be confusing with such numbers of interfaces. In such cases, you can use the facade design pattern, where he is going to provide unified one single interface, and that interface like this. So one single interface will be there. Okay, so under that he is going to enable different interfaces, so that will not be confusing part. So if you don't have this part, so it will be like distributed like this. I cannot trace it properly. So if you maintain one shared one particular place like that, so it is going to be helpful to trace the other interfaces. So such facility is provided by the facade design pattern. Okay, so next coming to the factory method. So factory method is the name of a design pattern. Don't think it is as a operation or a function or a method. Okay, it is a name of a design pattern, that is a factory method. So it is going to define the interfaces. So means you will be using the plenty of design patterns. So each will be having the different interfaces creation, classes creation, object creations. So you may get a lot of confusions. So in order to define such interface in a huge basis, you can use this factory method. So factory itself, you can just imagine, so it contains huge data, so dumpling of the data. So it contains all the definitions of our interfaces, which are all you have created in a database. Everything will be maintained or given with the factory method. Okay, so next we will see other few of this contents. So because we have 23 design patterns, I have written only 10. So we will go for the next design patterns. Okay, fine, we will continue with the topics. So you have got the 11th one, flyweight. So flyweight design pattern. So I have written it contains a large number of fine grained objects. Means you will be having the plenty of objects, right? So those all objects will be pointed to each other and it will be maintained. So that is why I have written here it contains a large number of fine grain. So fine grain objects, okay, so which are all already created, which has been in a working condition. So that's why I have taken fine grain. Okay, so it contains a huge, so it will be in a pointer concept, one will be pointing to the other like that. In a database I am going to maintain. So that is available with the flyweight design pattern. Okay, so next coming to the interpreter design pattern. So it can be used in order to clarify the doubts or any conversion that can be arising due to the language issues. So while designing the coding part or implementing any of the software or anything, you are going to use plenty of the programming languages, right? So there may occur with the translation, means converting the languages. So there may be an issues with that. So in order to solve those kinds of issues with the language representation, so you can use the interpreter design patterns. It allows you to convert or to interpret easily, so to translate the languages. Okay. And coming to the iterator design pattern, so this iterator design pattern, so it is going to provide you the accessing. So you will be having the huge classes, huge objects. So in order to access it in a easier way, so you know iterator, you are going to use for loops, while loops and all, right. So those are going to provide you the neat neat accessing of the elements. For example, you can access the nth element, between elements, first element. So based on the coding part, you can just access in a easy way, right. So such accessing can be provided with the design patterns also, okay. So it allows you to provide the neat way of the iterations, means way of accessing will be good, you can use the design pattern iterator. So next is a mediator. Mediator is the name of a design pattern. So the name indicates the same meaning. So as you have seen in the general meaning, mediator, where the person in between two persons who is going to help to communicate the persons, or someone who is going to be in between with the two different sender or receiver or a medium like that. So here this mediator design pattern, it is going to tell you how to interact with the classes and the objects. So with the different classes or within a classes or with the objects, with the different objects. So it is going to just tell you how to interact with each other. So means when you are going to contact with unknown persons, so someone will be there, or sometimes you will be having some in between person. So he is going to get communicated with the you people, and then he is going to allow you to get a friendship, right. So in the same way, you have a mediator design pattern who is going to tell you in order to get the communication, how to approach, how to go with the communications part with respect to the classes and the objects, okay. Coming to the memento design pattern. So what it is going to do, this memento design pattern, it exposes the implementation details. Actually it is not a issue. Why? Because it is going to provide only the implementation details without externalizing the privacy details. Means privacy data will be there, no, that will be hidden, okay, that will not be shown, that will not be exposed. Only it is going to give the implementation parts, only the limited part, not a huge part also. So it is not going to be completely violation. So it is going to provide only few of the implementation details, and means it is going to externalize the implementation details. Some of the highly important privacy related data will be hidden only, okay. And the observer, so this observer I can relate to a view design, model view controller, I explained in the previous class, no. So it can be related to a view. So this observer, why means, so you have written notifying the changes. So when you apply some changes to the software, so you may not be getting the actual result, okay. So anything like, for example, if you apply some weaving with the decoration concepts, or accepting the data, or retrieving the data, you may occur with some different kinds of problems, right. So when you update data, it should be viewed to the users. We can actually see that data, right. Sometimes due to network problem or due to the database problem, so we cannot see the data which has been updated. So in order to go with the interaction, or in a neat way, consistent way, so you are going to have the observer where it is going to update you with the complete pin to pin updations. So it will be represented, that will be done by the observer design pattern. And the prototype, so prototype, you know already the general meaning. So prototyping is nothing but it is going to give the definition how to implement the function. So you will be having function prototyping and all, right. So it is going to tell you, so what are all the method name it should contain, means the kind of method, so the parameters that can contain, the type of parameters. So those are all the things you are going to specify in the prototype, right. So the same thing here, it is going to tell you the kinds of objects to be created. It is going to tell you which kinds of objects you can create, which kinds of classes you can create. So it is just a definition levels, right. The same way prototype design pattern, it gives you the solution with respect to the problem that is arising due to the different kinds of object creations, okay. And then proxy, so these things you already come across. Proxy means, so in the classes I will be telling always, so means don't tell proxy to your friends, or in your classes you have have seen such kinds. So don't tell proxy. Means proxy means what? Instead of your friend attendance, you are going to tell the proxy. Means in absence of him, you are going to tell the attendance, right? So that is you are going to call it as a proxy. The same meaning I am going to use here. So when you don't have the actual software or actual classes or an object in that particular place, you are going to have a proxy design pattern which contains all the duplications of the classes and the objects created at the back end, and immediately it take overs, and then it is going to provide as a surrogate. So you have heard this word surrogate, you have heard surrogate mothers and all. So instead of the original part, okay, original document or original class or a object, this particular proxy design pattern is going to be worked. Means how it is going to work? So it contains all the data, object, classes which is being created in the backend also. The copy will be maintained. So such that only it can access in a proxy way. So otherwise it cannot be done. Okay. And then 19th, that is a 19th design pattern is a state design pattern. So it is going to have a behavior alterations. Means I have written here, you can see. So it is going to alter its behavior whenever the state changes. Means for example, when I am going to do something, something like, for example, I kept the chalk piece in this board, or somewhere if I rub the board and so on, right? So when I am doing some activities, so it should be updated. So that updations, that behavioral alterations, everything should be contained or should be given with the design pattern state. Okay. So we will see next design patterns, another 4 left. So next design pattern is singleton design pattern. Okay. So this singleton design pattern, it is going to tell you only one instance. Means for an object, when you are creating a one object, so it contain only one instance. So in order to maintain there is means in order to avoid the duplicate instances, so it is going to tell you the only one instance. Means this singleton design pattern is going to focus on one single instance. Okay. And then coming to the strategy, which contains the group of algorithms, so which contains huge algorithms that you are going to use in order to implement the design patterns. So using this group of algorithms, it is going to the providing the complete algorithms which is required by you. Means if you are requesting some other algorithms which is already used or which is going to be the modern trend algorithm, so everything will be maintained by this strategy design pattern. So and it is going to give you the solution using those algorithms. So that is why I have given you, it contains a family of algorithms. All the algorithms will be maintained with this strategy or design patterns. So it will enable you to go with the implementations with a neat algorithms picking from that particular family. Okay. And then coming to the template method. So template you already know. So in order to do any reports or anything, so you are going to ask for the template. Ma'am, give me template. So how we need to do? Just an abstract, means just a model. So what it contains, what it should contain, right? So those that is nothing but the template. So the same way this template design pattern, it is just going to be a skeleton of an algorithm. Or you can tell just a pseudo code. Okay. So it gives you the int, how to design, what are all the objects, classes you are going to use, okay, the method, data. So everything you are going to give with the int. So it is not a complete implementation details, so not complete coding. So it is just going to give the just a few ints. So just a skeleton part it is going to give, maybe the prototype level, so the definitions part it is going to give you. So based on that you are going to implement the full implementations. So that is why I have taken here, it is going to give you the skeleton of an algorithm. So not a complete picture, so only the outline it is going to give you. Based on that outline you are going to design a solutions. Okay. And the visitor, the last design pattern, visitor. So this is going to represent the operation. So means is just like a someone who is going to investigate your activity. So just like that. So if you are going to perform a right activity or not, up to date you are going to do or not. So that person, so the person who is going to investigate all the activities. So here this visitor is going to represent all the works which has been taken place. So those will be entirely the solutions part of this particular visitor design pattern is concerned only with respect to the representation of the activities that is done. Okay. So that is about the 23 design patterns. So we are going to study in the third module. So in depth, so each and every design pattern is given in depth. So there I will teach you the with respect to the structure, applications, users. So those all comes in the third module. So only in the first module he has kept the definition level. So next, coming for the next topic, so that is the catalog representation. So how we are going to represent the catalog. So I explained the catalog, right? So now I am going to tell you how to represent this one. So that is representation. This is a class, this is a object, okay, and this is a scope. Just you can take like this also. So you can just see here. So how to represent this different design patterns. So we have seen all the 23 design patterns. One by one I have given a definitions. Now, so how to categorize this one? So or you can tell this as a categories of a design patterns also you can tell. So I cannot remember all the design patterns, 1 to 23 number it is there. So I cannot recall all the design patterns. So if I categorized into a different category, and if I keep a main heading for those things based on their activity, so it is very useful to remember, right? So in that situation he has taken the design patterns in a different category. So very first one, based on the purpose, okay, based on the scope, okay, based on the purpose he has categorized the design patterns into 3 types, okay. So creational design pattern, structural, behavior design pattern. You can just observe what I have written here. In a creational design pattern you can just see factory method, so abstract, factory, builder, prototype, singleton design patterns are dumped, and the structural design pattern means structural means, so that will be with respect to adapter, bridge, composite, decorator, facade, all this I have already told you. And behavior related design patterns are categorized as interpreter, template, chain of responsibility, command, iterator. So what I have done here is, based on their applications, based on their structures, based on their behavior, I have categorized into different category. For example, I may categorize you people into a with the same height one category, with the same color another category, okay, with the size another category, right? Based on the views I am going to categorize, with the different talents I am going to categorize into categories, right? In the same way, design patterns are categorized into 3 groups, and you can just see based on the scope also it is being divided. So in this one scope, it is being taken into a class scope and the object scope design patterns. So in what we'll see what is this creational design pattern. So creational means the design pattern which helps you to create the classes and the objects. So those are all known as the creational design patterns. So who are all there? So you can just see factory method, so abstract, factory, builder, prototype. So I told you this prototype and all, it is going to give the definition in order to create, how to create the objects and all, right? So that is why it is being dumped in a creational part. So these are the few design patterns who is going to help you in the creation part of a class and the objects. And then coming to the structural design pattern. So how it is being structured, how it is being interlinked, means classes and the objects, how it is being linked to each other. In that one you can just see adapter, bridge, composite. I told you, so composite contains a group of objects all together, and it is going to give the the tree representation. It is going to give the tree representation, right? So it is just nothing but the structure, how the structure is being maintained. So whether it is a chain structure, whether it different. So it is going to give the complete implementation, how it is being implemented within the body. Okay, so those part will be, you can just see in this one. And coming to the behavioral means how the particular design pattern is behaving. So, for example, you can see interpreter, template, these are all in a behavioral design pattern. So, interpreter, it is going to interpret the languages, right. So, it is going to convert the representation of a languages. So, based on the behavior, it is going to be converted. So, such kinds of design pattern who is going to hack based on the behaviors are the related to behaviors. So, those are all will be mentioned in a behavioral design patterns. And coming to the scope of a design pattern. So, class scope and the object scope. So, here in the class scope, so you can just see you can read it in a horizontal way, and if you want to go with the purpose, you can read it in a vertical way. Okay. So, for the scope purpose, read it in a horizontal way. Okay. So, here in the class scope, so you have factory method, adapter, interpreter, template method and so on. So, these few of the design pattern which I have written with respect to the class scope. So, they are going to only focus on the classes, means creation of classes, structure of classes, means the behavior with respect to classes. So, those concepts only related to class. Okay. And coming to the object scope. So, object scope means here you are going to have the completely all these design patterns which I have written here. So, those are all only confined to the creation of object, means the responsibility assigned to that of particular object, behavior of that object and the structure of that object, how to create that object. So, completely related to the objects only. So, here restricted to object mode. So, that is why it is being categorized into a object scope. So, it is not going to work with a class scope. So, that is what given with this particular means representation of a catalog or a categories of a particular design patterns. Okay. So, this design pattern can also be represented with their relationship, means you are going to relate the design patterns. You can just see in this particular diagram. So, where all the design patterns are related to each other. So, this is not much important, but you can just observe. So, where how the design patterns are related to each other, means how the singleton is related to say facet, facet is related to factory method, so factory is related to factory method, so on. So, how the proxy is related. So, all the relations between the different kinds of design patterns. I told you all these design patterns are the solutions for the problem, right. So, there will be some or the other kind of the relationship between them. So, that is what represented in this diagram. So, you can just go through this relationship, how they are interlinked with each other. So, there is no much explanation for that particular diagram. You can just analyze there itself where each and every design patterns are interlinked to each other. Okay, fine. We will continue in the next class.